because there was a time where there was a bill in Home Affairs, officials would choose not to marry gay couples.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now that bill has been signed to say you are at work. Whether there's a gay couple that is going to come here, it's not your place. It's
Your
shift.
personal preferences have nothing to do with what you need to be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like trans people when they go to Home Affairs to get their IDs corrected.
Yes.
You know.
The queer way of life with me, Bujy. Podcast and Chill Network. I missed you, Amanda.
I missed you too, Bujy.
I missed you so much.
I missed you too, Katlego.
So today it's me and Amanda.
Yes, guys.
And obviously fishing my sweetheart, the love of my life,
Dr.
Darcy Ram.
Rakumakwe.
Ram house. Rakumakwe. No, wait. No, I repeating. Kebatla matsogo. Louder. You see? Dulcie in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Dulcie, you have saved my life. You have saved. I love you so much. And with that being said, Katli can't be with us. He's still going through his rituals and Togoza Baba. I was with him yesterday. You should have seen he was so exhausted. Then he says, I still have to do this again. I'm like, I am going to drink, Katli. Saying what's up to the underground gang.
Yeah.
I'm out.
No, I know. I also checked up on him. He's saying that he's just tired from yesterday's activity. But guys, ngaboni mina ngcoke kanje kuyabanda call fronti mina no Dulcie siyazithanda ngazi lo munye lapha.
Akagotoli ngathi amagay awagotoli.
Amagay awagotoli azav. Gay na le sebete. Babe, sebete sa rona ke sa tshepe.
They got sa lipstick.
Yo, le mascara, le bona re kenya eyeshadow.
Yeah, man.
But thank you so much, Dr. Dulcie. Like, you have been nothing but a gift to the queer community, the LGBTQI community. I remember the first time I met you a long time ago.
Yes.
When I told you guys how I lost weight.
Yeah.
And Dulcie literally was the one who took me from size Maibabu to a size that I'm in now.
I remember you said.
Yes.
How did you do that, Dulcie?
Wow. No, I think the conversation was easy because I think you were ready. When you came.
When I came.
When you came, you were ready for the process because it's not easy.
It's not easy.
And I don't believe in artificial things. It's things that you can do. Yourself to lose weight.
I didn't know that I was supposed to eat meat as well. I was so shocked.
No, you can just eat healthy and exercise, and then you lose weight.
And before Mom passed away, it was like, I think this is getting out of hand. You're losing too much weight.
Yeah.
So how long has it been?
I lost a lot of weight, and then I gained, and then I lost again. Then I went back to the routine.
Because you knew the principles.
Because I knew the principles
Exactly.
to say, right now you're getting out of hand.
Yeah.
But I like what you said. Dulcie has been one of the greatest gifts that we've had in the queer community. I say this with pride because she's one of the people that can be accessible, you know. She's very accessible. You can't say
she
that.
She even knows our darkest secrets.
You can't say you need to find Dulcie through 3 other people, you know. Dulcie has been one of the people that has been in the community and is accessible through advertisement of queer way, health.
Quad care.
Yes. And queer wellness.
Yeah.
Queer well, not
yes.
queer wellness.
Yeah.
Queer well.
You need to be queer world.
Yeah, queer well. So these are institutions that I feel has been so that they have contributed so much into the community because let me start with Quad Care. What does Quad Care do?
Okay. I think I love the fact that you mentioned where I'm accessible.
Yeah.
So because
Yeah, up until you gave me to the other doctor, whom I love, Dr. Tumi.
Yeah.
Love you.
so like accessibility has always been my thing because I really believe hore access is the equalizer.
I'm sorry, guys, we have to cut.
Don't cut.
I'm sorry, because they want money to pay.
Oh, you guys want money to pay? No, we're not cutting anything.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, cool.
Oh, so we can continue.
We can
So I can.
continue. No.
You like the fact that we
Okay.
accessible.
Listen, we are giving this. Wait, so you want money to pay for food, right?
Yes.
So you need to go to where's my purse?
The fact that this is a podcast.
Yeah, it's there,
Yeah.
the blue one. Go, use the black card, not the...
Hey, Chineke.
Because now they're signaling me.
They're signaling you.
Yeah, and when I come out, machanku.
No, but listen moment at Dr. Dowsey.
He won't, because he's looking at me.
Yeah, it's
There's a purse, they didn't find it. Okay, just tap. It's gonna go through. The black one, yeah.
Thank you.
And I see a katilimnyama is the real black one.
Yeah, no, you need to. All right.
Okay,
so,
come back.
Booyah.
Sorry guys, it was just an ad break, but we're still here, right? Yeah, so we are done buying food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the sake of the podcast.
For the sake of the podcast. Yeah. People need to eat. And Tato is now like, he's just standing there like, okay, all right. Dr.
Oh,
Dowsey.
yes.
Yes. A round of applause again, please.
So Amanda, you spoke about access,
Yes.
which is something that I strongly believe in. Horiki equalizer, especially for us as the queer community. Once you give people access to things, then they can be the best versions, of themselves. One understand. So like that's what drove the founding of Quad Care. Okay. So Quad Care as a health facility, a facility that provides access to healthcare. So Quad stands for quality, accessibility, and dignity. Which is how I feel what healthcare should be provided.
And because I've come to, I usually, when I come for my blood test and when I check like weight in Tonton, I go to the one in
Braamfontein.
No, not the one in
Fox
Braamfontein.
Street?
There was a one in Park Station.
Oh yes, we used to be called Park Station.
Then you moved to Fox.
We moved to Fox and Braamfontein. Because the Park Station one was huge. So like we couldn't just move to one place. Well, that's why we did to cover like the students, like especially the students, Kamo Braamfontein area and Fox Street for the guys that work in town, that go through Bo Park Station and Bo Bree and those taxi rings.
Oh, okay.
So you are big, Dulcima.
Yeah,
You are big,
actually,
yeah.
but let's own this. Ne? We are big.
One thing that I love about you is that also the way you just so chilled.
Yeah.
When somebody's passionate about something, it's like when somebody says, "Oh my God, you're so talented," it's like you're like, I didn't choose, but it's just there.
Yeah. No, seriously.
So how many branches do you have?
We currently have 10 branches and we'll continue to grow,
Yeah.
because for now, the issue of access, when we started the company, it was about access for poor people in South Africa.
Yeah.
We know like about maybe 10-15% at the most people in South Africa have medical aid. So meaning 85% of people have to take money out of their pockets.
Kopa, we paisa because when I started with you, I didn't have medical aid.
Yeah.
Now I do have.
So for like to take money out of pocket for healthcare, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Now for poor, but when you go into those poor communities, you see there's also a queer community. Issue access is even a bigger problem because it's not about money anymore. It's also about the attitudes. The providers when people go and try and access healthcare.
Sure.
You have cases Sabo, like your men sleeping with men who would have like an illness, but whatever the way ridiculous go clinic, they end up not going. And then moto adule ka infection,
I like that most of your your branches, they always have LGBT visibility. Was that deliberate?
It is deliberate. Like, the gay flag, know. So every clinic has a gay flag at the corner because every queer person that walks past, flag then they will know this is a safe space. I can go into this space, even if Kenali flu or whatever, but I will be welcomed with love. If I'm a trans person, I will be addressed in the right way. They're not just going to look at me and assume who is mister. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and those little things count. Like I just think generally South Africa is not a safe space for queer people. So when you are a safe space, you need to make it visible where you are a queer space, a safe space for queer people.
I love what you just said because I only realize that we're not safe every time when I'm outside Gauteng or even when I'm with Gauteng, when I'm outside Johannesburg, then I realize I'm like, hey, because
you can be assaulted. Like people can just insult you, for nothing, for just being in that space. We know how many people we've lost, because they went out to like a drinking place or just a hangout place, and then next thing Mutu is being attacked and killed.
Because people hate themselves that much.
Exactly.
So we can safely say that we are still striving for safe spaces within the
strong
queer community, or also outside queer community. Just the virtue of being human, to say, I remember kunentombazana bengitshela ukuthi uyasaba ukuhamba ePre. Because of the trauma, when they tell you what to wear or what not to wear. So we need safe spaces in general as human, because being gay, guys, honestly speaking, it's something that it should stop being about homophobia.
I've always said when I sense that someone's homophobic, I'm like, where does it come from? And in most cases, it's not because you did something to them. It's because they're uncomfortable with themselves. And therefore, I will make you feel uncomfortable. It's not because you figure out, hey, I love you, hey, let's go and do something. No. It's just then.
Just you embracing yourself and being happy with yourself, it will offend someone else.
To a point where you'll get a guy who's like, manje mabe ifake nduna awuzobuhlungu, and then you're just like, why would you think about that? Because when you're having sex with a woman, don't say, so uyayifaka why do you look at people and make it about you? Because for me, that's the biggest thing. It's not about you.
So it's internalized self-hate.
Exactly.
It's internalized self-denial of freedom. Hence, you are pushing everybody away. You're asking questions that can make other people comfortable, because you always say this: hurt people hurt other people.
Listen, I've hurt a lot of people when I was extremely hurt in my life, and I've seen Wuti, you can't give what you don't have. So if all you have is hurt, not true. And then speak about being hurt, like mental health in the queer community.
Yes. That's another
doctor, for me, it's
a big one. That's another initiative, that I'm involved in. It's an NPO that we founded end of 2019. It's called Queer Well. Because it's about mental health for the queer community.
Shout out Queer Well.
Thank you. So what's up? Because in the head, we are queer, we are here. Because I think a lot of queer people face many difficulties. Starting from home. Sometimes you can be discriminated by your own family and not receive love as a child. As a child going through school, there's bullying. Bullying can be by teachers, can be by other students, making it difficult for you, to go to school. And then you grow up in varsity, the same thing is happening. You meet people from other communities who are also homophobic and hateful.
The struggle never ends. Even after varsity, you
go
to college.
You are always coming out.
You are the gay intern.
In all the spaces that you're going into, you are coming out, you know. And then there's workplaces, that are supposed to be safe spaces, but they're also discriminatory spaces, like you get where people's progress in the marketplace or in the job place is restricted by the fact that you are gay and out, or you are trans. You cannot get the promotions you deserve. You go for an interview, those things contribute
because
to
Amanda
depression.
even said, we work 2 times harder.
Yes.
in the room when
Because
there's everybody
depression,
else.
anxiety, substance abuse, suicide, it's very high in the queer community because of all these factors.
And I also think these companies also they show us fake love as the queer people.
Yeah.
Because Pride Month, there's the logo with.
And I think when we talk of companies, we must also talk of government.
Yes.
Because for me, government is a company as well. and that's what they do, right?
Yes,
That's what they
yes,
do.
yes.
When there's like Pride Month, then you get invited to
Yes.
all these places to talk
Be a speaker.
about be a speaker.
Especially you, doctor.
They too. And then you feel like, okay, maybe things will improve because we spoke to minister of this and this and that and that, and things will improve. But then no, after that month, all the flags go down and people go back to their normal behavior of being people cannot go to police stations, for instance, when there's been assault or abuse or like all those cases that people have easy access to report just because they are queer.
So Dulcie, now that you are saying in your companies you have managed to sensitize your staff to say, guys, asking for a pronoun is important, all those protocols of having to deal with queer people, do you think that the government is missing a gap of sensitizing whoever is giving services to everyone? Because there was a time where there was a bill in Home Affairs, officials would choose not to marry gay couples.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now that bill has been signed to say you are at work. Whether there's a gay couple that is going to come here, it's not your place. It's
Your
shift.
personal preferences
Yes,
have nothing to
to
do
do
with
with your
what you need to be
ukuthi
doing.
wena uvukeliswa ubani singenaphi.
Yeah.
Ke batla go nyala swele wena.
Yeah, like trans people when they go to Home Affairs to get their IDs corrected,
Yes.
and then you are met with someone who's transphobic, homophobic, and then they refuse to assist you. It cannot be okay.
So how can we close that gap, or what would you say to government, or how can you advise them to actually close that gap? Because it's civil servants, guys. These are the most important people that were supposed to be at the center of sensitization of queer issues.
Yeah, I think number one, maybe it starts with induction.
Yeah.
How do they induct people coming into that workplace? I get you teach them all the things, that they're supposed to know about the workplace. One of the things must be a non-discriminatory policy, which must be enforced. And there must be punishment, if people break the law. The same way that you can be punished for being racist. You need to be punished for being homophobic. When we talk of ratings of businesses, the same way we do BEE ratings, we must do I don't know what we're gonna call them, QEE.
Yeah.
QEE.
Yeah, there must be QEE. People need to know that workplace is safe for me and if it's not, people also need to know that bank is not safe, a safe space for queer people, so that the community can choose whether to support that business or not.
And we are a market, Dulcie.
And a very powerful market.
We are a very strong market that doesn't support each other, though. That's my
that's
biggest
another
thing.
thing.
That's that we are so good at taking away from each other than supporting each other.
Agreed.
The cancel culture, the queer community will cancel you. I mean, when you look at the likes of Da Baby, the rapper, who was extremely discriminatory, to the whole queer world and to women as well, and he lost so much money, so much, people stopped listening to him. And as much as Lil Nas got exposure, if that had to happen with so many artists, we could be so far.
Yeah.
Because I always say that the very same community, Dulcie and Bujy, that we have dedicated our lives directly and indirectly so for, can still turn against you, because there's no grace in the LGBTI. There's no such thing
Hurt people
as,
hurt other people.
Yeah, there's no grace, and it's not going to deter us, though, from continuing to push for policies such as the discriminatory police, of which it would bring me back to what we normally used to talk about in the corridors, Dulcie. But ba di NGO le di NPO ba re kolota and ba re jella nako, and I will emphasize it every opportunity that I get, that guys, you cannot be the liberator insisting, fighting for the LGBT of South Africa to be recognized, and now that is recognized, you still want to govern. You need to choose. You were there when you were fighting for us to be legalized. Okay, let's give others a chance. Maybe your policies are not going to be as progressive as the younger ones, because these younger ones know. You see, it's a discriminatory policy. It will not be pioneered by someone.
Yeah.
It has to be someone that has a vision to say, okay, now I'm not close to the grave. You are close to the grave. So can you take this thing and make sure that it happens in our continent? We have a long way to go.
Yeah. What's what happens? Like, I think if you look at the role of NGOs, Boma, 20 years ago, they were about feeding people. Like, people who just sit back and they come into your community and say, hey, like, we have this foundation. Like, people need soup and bread. And, they give them soup and they walk away. Now the needs of young people are different.
They've changed.
So then it means the mandate of these NGOs must also change. They must be about how do we empower people to empower themselves.
Yeah.
Because, and then these NGOs must also maybe be held to some level of accountability, to say, how many people have you impacted positively in the last year of your existence, and in what way? Not just photos of events there and there, and then you think you are doing the community some justice.
Yes.
You are not. You are actually killing those communities that you're acting like you are helping.
So my growth, right, as an entertainer, as a professional, started from Love Life, Y Center and Orange Farm. And I remember very well, it was never about the food.
Yeah.
It was never about a soup kitchen. The knowledge that we got there, and everyone that I know who was there with me, they're doing so well for themselves.
Yeah.
They're all employed, they're not employed, they're doing their own businesses, they're pushing. And there was a time I was called to Ritlesa Soup Kitchen. I'm even spitting. Ritlesa was Soup Kitchen. And I was like, and then after Boroto, what's going to happen? Because you're dealing with young people that have so greater needs. Like you are never out of it like
wabona, especially like Babadi shelter, like you provide shelter for people to stay there. What are they doing like in that year to make sure next year they don't need shelter? You need to be empowering them to be able to exit the shelter so that next people can come in.
Yes.
Understand? Don't create dependency. Don't create every time.
Dulcie, I like what you touched on. I like what you touched on because it's been one of those things that I've been pushing for, to say there's a lot of homelessness in the queer community. It's there. It's known.
So I'm going to property 24. The data to move in,
and that problem has never been addressed. No one has taken it upon themselves to say, I am going to aggressively approach this, because there's land grabbers, guys. No one has grabbed land for the LGBTI to say na kitlobula home mo kitloibula. We don't have those people.
Yeah.
We've got people that are sitting in air-conditioned offices, people that are getting T-shirts, printed government logos for them to be the people that are pioneering LGBT, of which is a lie. Ratifura, we are not going anywhere. It's just people that are self-seeking.
People who've become millionaires out of the doing good, branding.
I've got a challenge for whoever that's watching this. If we are talking about a rich LGBTI people, just think of one famous person that you know in your mind and look at their net worth. And then you'll tell me if what we are saying here, it's just us sounding like a broken record, or we are crying for help.
Don't forget, we fake rich easily.
But that one individual that I'm actually pushing people to check the net worth. It's a 26-year-old that is filthy rich on what? At 26, you are a multimillionaire.
Are they running an organization?
Baba, they must Google. I'm giving you a task.
Oh no, I want to see this one. I love it. They're 26, they've got an NGO.
And
they're making money with the whole queer culture, but we don't see the results.
We don't see that. And even if we do see the results, I feel like you can be more
Why
impactful.
Can't we name and shame?
I don't have enough lawyers. I don't have enough lawyers.
The president's net worth, and the 26 years old, and they are running an NGO.
So you will take it from there, because even the Somizi was trying to speak on this to say, okay, we are listed as elite gays, But honestly speaking, the people that are giving us the fans is the very same LGBTI famous people. Ke bona ba nkang fame ya rona mo, ba e behe kwa.
Exactly.
The proximity to the president, like it's rotten. It's rotten. And it needs to be changed. And we can't now be scared of saying, guys, there's a problem. We have a problem. Yes, I've got friends that run and your Dulce. If Kausa need Dulce,
Now I've benefited from Dulcie. Like, remember when I had a spine problem?
Yeah.
So I couldn't drive.
Yeah.
But not with the NPO though. The NPO is not making money.
No, but remember when I couldn't drive, when I came to you?
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm going to make it so personal because I don't think I've thanked you enough for all that you've done for me and for the queer community. I literally couldn't drive. I was in tears. And then I had a spine problem and not knowing what some of it is caused by stress, caused by... Then I went to Dulce and I got them just like, I can't drive. I am in a mess. And you saved me. When I got no, shapa di black fish go betting. What's up? But I wanted to touch very importantly on mental health. I feel like we didn't really go deep into it.
Yeah. Okay, so the work that we do, like, because I've highlighted what the issues are. But now when it comes to issues of access, it's because of funds, most of the time, like, therapy fees are like 900 rands an hour. A lot of people cannot afford that. But now I've always felt the bigger barrier to accessing healthcare is the provider attitudes. So you go to a psychologist who is homophobic, and you're going with your issues, and then they treat you with discrimination instead of, understanding your issues. So as an organization, we make it a point to try and raise funds, so that we can pay therapists, to assist people. But secondly, from our pool of psychologists, we sensitize them. We make sure that they are either queer themselves or they are queer sensitized, so they understand everything about the queer community, including especially like the issue of pronouns, the difference between sex, gender, and sexuality, and understanding how that plays out, understanding the issues that people in our community are facing and being sensitive when addressing, those issues. So since we started in like December 2019, so far we have assisted more than 1,200 people.
That's why I feel like, well done.
Don't forget to say mahal.
Mahal. Yes, these are people who've accessed.
I also need therapy.
These are people who've accessed, therapy for free. They like. And
what's the process though? Is there like a process for you? Okay.
So like we have a website, www.queerwell.org. We have a Facebook page, Queerwell. We have a WhatsApp line as well. So people like inbox us and contact us directly, to speak to a therapist. And then all the consultations are online, so they can do like either like a call or like a video consult, using the existing, models. Because of COVID, we don't have physical, sessions. So people are able to go to get their 3-4 sessions, with a therapist until they exit, the system, and like the therapist feels like they are now fine. They can always come back, when they are not well. We also host like every 2 weeks, like just education sessions. So we'll choose a topic. It will be online on Zoom, and people can come in, like topics from self.
Can you please add us? I think we need to be part of that.
No, I'll add you, because I think we have a safe space that's going to be physical end of this month. I'll send you guys the details.
Okay.
So that like you can come through and just see the work that we do. Just educate, because sometimes also it's just lack of knowledge when it comes to mental health issues, especially in our black communities. But when sometimes, when they have mental health issues, so we deal with anxiety, depression. We do meditation sessions. We talk about self-love. We talk about everything with intimate partner violence. We talk about all those issues like in these sessions, and there are safe spaces. People are able to come in and talk about, everything. Because sometimes you just need people around you to talk, to talk to when you're having difficulties.
So, would you say you guys are looking into opening a branch later? Once we have funds?
God willing, if we get funding, you know, because currently we're depending on people's donations, you know, or money out of our own pockets. So we have a donation tab on our website. Sometimes we ask people, you know, recently, can I name the company?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So recently, Vodacom gave us 50,000 rands.
Oh, that's
you know,
lovely.
to just help. So we're able to pay for more sessions, you know, with those donations that people are sending through to us.
No, that's good.
That's
Dulcie.
good.
You
That's
guys are doing
awesome.
a good job, and
Thank you so much.
I've benefited also from Queerwell. I've joined a session on a Wednesday. We were talking about family and things like that. But it's helpful sessions.
Yeah.
There's another session that I joined not so long ago on Twitter. It's hosted by he calls himself the gay superhero. We were talking about, you know, healthiness in terms of whether you're HIV positive or you're negative and how we treat each other. And I said to them, my biggest thing is that we weaponize things that we know about each other.
Yeah.
Do you understand? We don't use that to say, actually, how do I help it? But instead, I will weaponize. If I know hori, Dalsi, Natsoriki, STI, Ning Ning.
Yeah.
Skatlong just like a Dalsi.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
You know, and I was like, that's the worst thing that we keep on doing with everyone's situation in the queer community. We consistently have this thing of just breaking one another.
No, we need to change that narrative, you know, and I think it starts with us.
Yeah.
You know, we just choosing to talk differently. You know, now personally I make it my life's mission to know what everyone is doing. You know what I mean? So that if you are in the food business, I will ask you, where do you buy your pasta, for instance? Because I know ukuthi uban bani, you know, Mukhele. Hello Mukhele. Because I know Mukhele. Yeah, I know Mukhele makes pasta. You know what I mean? So, and I know hore, if you have a relationship, Lena, you're able to discuss better deals, you know, and it will enhance your business and enhance his business. You know what I mean? So we just need to change that narrative here where we are each other's enemies. We need to even if it's just the three of us starting, you know, to be those ones that talk positive about other members. I think we will just continually influence each other in the right way.
Yes, and love each other. Speaking of love, I'm going to go straight to you.
Yes.
How do you find the balance? Because you have a hectic profession.
Yes.
And at the same time, you are the most bubbliest person when I meet you in all the social places.
Yeah.
How do you find the balance? Winka guy.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when it's like, you just like, you know, there's other time I was looking at you, I'm like, how does she do it?
Yeah. No, what's when it comes to just planning my time, you know, I'm quite meticulous. You know, I plan it to the T. So on Sunday, I will write down my program for the week.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what I need to achieve by Friday. This is what I need to have done, you know, by Friday. So every time I do something, I just tick off, you know, from that list. And then I'm happy on Friday that I can see what I've done everything. Then the weekend is for me and my woman. You know?
Yes.
So
I don't know, you guys got engaged,
yes,
right?
we did.
I said I'm going to be the MC of the wedding. Please.
Congratulations.
Thank you, my friend.
Congratulations.
But you know, so look at you. So just make sure, for me, I try and make sure as much as I can to dedicate the weekend as to family time and doing things that are just enjoyable and fun. You know, I told you the other day that I DJ as well. So
she's now a DJ.
She has been a DJ.
Where have you been?
Yeah,
yes,
she's been
it's
a
just
DJ.
with it, it's only now that I'm really doing it and going out.
And you know what I like about being a DJ, right? Just to the things that people think that is such a restricted area. I'm like, if you know good music, if you can do it, do it. Nobody says you can't do it.
Yeah.
Because I remember also studying as a DJ, it was because we both soul and R&B.
Yes.
And someone was like, yeah, but they won't hire you because you're gay. I'm just like, watch me.
Yeah. No, that's it.
So the one thing that I like about you, Dulce, is that even this DJing thing, you can do it for free.
Yeah.
The way you love it.
No, I love
know.
music.
I know.
You know, and I
For free,
honestly,
Dulce.
Yeah,
When I
but you-
was doctor, I've not doctor. Sorry.
No, but that's what I'm
Yay,
saying.
rates do apply. Now, make up your tour, outfit your tour,
Yeah.
really.
It's not it's something that I really love doing? If you want to pay for it, please do pay me. But because the thing about me is the reason I started fully doing, I was doing it for fun, I would just do it at the friend's party or whatever. But now to go into spaces that are public spaces and playing is because I realized a lot of the music that I love, I don't hear in the clubs.
That's a gap.
You are like me. That's when I was like, man.
But I know people love it.
Yes, but it's just not
why is this guy
there.
playing hip hop and not playing this song?
I'll tell you hip hop, and then just like, but there's that song.
So those are the people that I play for.
Hence why I think DJing right now is gonna go to the next level, because you need to be so good in music. It's not about you just playing the next song or mixing songs.
And the skills.
No.
So song selection.
Have you ever a DJ? And then you're just sitting on Shazam and just Shazamming. Because that person, you don't know the song, but just that sounds so good.
Yes.
No. I think I'm not into DJ, but I just think song selection. I'm a groovist, so I know song selection.
Song selection is
you want to sing along, you want to dance, you want to remember something.
Even with artists, because right now I'm thinking I'm a piano. One thing that I've always said is if there's one thing that's going to make you stand out in terms of any genre, the uniqueness that you need to have and the texture of the voice. Because I feel like and then
bro.
And I'm just like, listen, if that's your vibe, I'm not going to subscribe to that. If that's what you're going to jam to, no. He is a producer, by the way, and there's quite a dope song. I was just like, this makes sense, because it's not like someone who just produced a song for the sake of.
So well thought.
People don't think.
But I think that's what COVID did, ne? COVID made us all slow down and listen. That's why people now are starting to appreciate authenticity.
Yes.
People are appreciating realness more than anything before, because people are now relaxed. We're not running fast anymore. So this is the time for people who make good music to put their music out there, for people who wanna go into spaces that people didn't think, they could go into. Just be brave, and go after what you love doing. Let me tell you about another thing that I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm starting something, and I really feel like it's gonna positively impact, South Africa.
Okay.
Because what I wanna do now is focus on small businesses in the township, but small businesses with a heart.
Okay.
So that's why when I put the message out, I said, just write me one page about why you started your business. I'm not interested in the numbers yet and all those things. I just want the why, because I think the why, because I believe everyone is potentially a storyteller, but they don't know, so let's use your businesses to tell stories, but now how differently I want to incubate these businesses by now going to the unemployed graduates and saying, you studied human resource. I'm going to create a consultant out of you. I need you are unemployed. But this is in your hood, not the town. You're not going to go into your
because we always think we always think that money is outside.
I want you to go exporting.
As a teacher, you make more money in the townships than these big clubs.
I want you to go into sport to Saga Mam Sophie.
Yes.
And look at the human resource issues there and how to create a culture. I want you to come with your sales and marketing degree.
You deserve a poo-poo-poo-poo, please.
And sit and assess, how do you market a business like Mam Sophie, and where now with your accounting, create a management accounts.
And also they must understand what it's not about you getting 100,000 rands a month. 500.
But now
2,000,
you're thinking, also as an unemployed graduate, your thinking starts changing. You realize, Guti, I could be a consultant for township businesses. Got this thing that I've studied. I don't need a job per se. But even if you do need a job, your CV starts looking better. You are saying, I went into this business that was informal and this is what I've done. That's on my CV. And if then you become more attractive to Mlungu.
So kahle, you have pioneered many projects.
I'm trying to. I'm just trying. That's why I'm saying, I'm an animal of access.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
access.
Hence,
Let's give young black people access.
Listen.
Hence, even with the business, the queer businesses now, the hub that you have created to say, okay, if you own a business, here's a market, come showcase your business, come sell whatever that you're selling to us. We are creating a space for you to come to that.
We do the queer market now.
So
the queer market, we are joining in because this is what we had a plan for as well.
Yeah.
Please, can we please join in?
Please.
Because I strongly believe in queer businesses and how professional and how extra we go.
And we do things. We do amazing things, but we don't get that space for the businesses to be exposed.
For me, it goes back to us loving one another. And understanding.
And we are enough of a market to make sure these businesses work.
Pink money.
It's a lot. And that's why we encourage you, even to once we have created all these hubs and all these avenues, it's important for us to understand that before you can go to a place and demand a safe space, you should be a safe space.
When are yourself? We should be safe spaces. We should be safe spaces for one another. I need to know. I can go to Amanda and say, bro, I need to talk. And I'm not okay.
Yeah.
I'm not okay.
Because in Tongi Noticile, yes, we have these facilities, we have these projects, but it starts becoming there's hostility around it because people are not safe with each other. So
and then next thing Ngosomizi next thing ngizwa konjoba nomunye famous.
So once you are a safe space, you are giving people that are people like Dulce that are pushing for these projects to happen to do it freely, because we are not worried about who's gonna move who. We are not worried about hostility, who's gonna sabotage who, because you yourself, you are coming there to contribute. So if all of us can see avenues as something that we can share spaces in and just have harmonious exchange with each other.
And those that have made it must feel must come and mentor Indwana, they must mentor the
Get off the high horses.
Come hold my hand.
I struggle with mentoring young people because sometimes because I've been so harsh to myself. So when certain things, I'm also harsh to my younger brother. So when I'm trying to find a space whereby I know how to deliver, as much as I'm a well-trained facilitator, qualified facilitator, but sometimes, I'll sit there and I'll roll my eyes. I'm like, be patient, because I've been so harsh towards myself for me to get ahead. And now I'm still learning how to go back and be like, okay, fine, let's do this. Because learning comes with a lot of mistakes. Being a teacher, you need to accept at some point and help them through the process of being out of being the dumb cop.
No, we need to help. We need to hold each other's hands. We are we know things, but we don't know everything, right?
Yeah.
And by teaching, you also learn. Because when you start teaching people, they give you other challenges that you had never thought about, and then you start thinking differently. So the learning is continuous. That is why Mina always say to people who want to start, the initiative is called Start Something.
Okay.
That for the people who want to start something, they always think, no, I need to read this and learn this, and then I can start. No, you need to actually start.
Yeah.
And then
you
learn.
Yeah.
With that being said,
I think
Dr. Dulce, I love you so much.
Thank you.
And I think we're gonna have you back.
Yeah.
She's a regular now. So with that being said, thank you so much, and thank you so much for your data. Thank you so much for choosing the podcast and chill, the queer way of life. And don't forget, if you want to do your podcast, it's very easy. Podcast at mashabela.co.za. Come, be nice. Fananati. Bye-bye.